Okay, it's that time of year again. If you are committed to feeding yourself year-round, you need to emphasize the longest harvest season of the year, which is the winter harvest season. And the primary transplant window for the great majority of the crops that are actually going to be feeding you through the October-May time period is the next couple of weeks. It's when we get most of the field brassicas into the ground. My nursery tables, for example, which are massively smaller than they used to be. I'm not putting up anywhere near the number of plants that I have in the past. But as usual, the story on the tables evolves constantly. This year, rather distinctively, probably 95% of the material does not consist of your typical named cultivars, but of highly diverse gene pools, deliberately created. We call these things adaptive land races, although we're falling away from the term land race because of issues with cultural appropriation. But essentially what we mean are these populations that have been crafted to possess an enormous degree of behavioral resilience, behavioral elasticity in a sense. And the populations that I have on the table right now are quite unique. Some of you may know that I've been specializing in leaf brassicas for decades. And so the populations that I've been able to select out of the material that I've been raising basically reflect years and years of zeroing in on cultivars and populations that have worked very well for me, and then basically grown them through very testing conditions at this particular site in terms of shade pressure, for example. And then roguing extremely heavily out of large populations to basically zero in on gene pools that I reckon have a lot of chutzpah. What I'm looking to do right now is to take this latest iteration in it's reflecting sort of a generalized trend in the avant-garde reaches of the sort of visionary plant breeding community. What I'm looking to do right now is to take these populations and embed them in what you might call as social correlatives. So at the neighborhood level, what we're looking to do is to get these populations in and grown among a diversity of horticulturalists at neighbourhood levels. I was just actually speaking to the people up Mackenzie Bridgeway yesterday when we're getting a commitment from them. I think they're the first community we have committed to basically taking a highly diverse gene pool with the potential to really dig in through the decades and place it into a community. I don't know how often we'll be doing this in future. We live in interesting times, but this is the first wave of our efforts to marry social diversity and biological diversity in a gene pool in a simultaneity into a community, and hopefully take it from there. I don't have much material at all this year, so what I'm looking for, this material generally needs to find its way into the ground in the next 2 or 3 weeks. What I'm looking for are individuals and communities who are able and willing to pull together a small cadre of folk, I don't know, 3 or 4 folk in a community who are willing to take this material and continue to grow it on, select and save seed on it. It consists the heartland of this material is a winter leaf brassica population of European and Russian Siberian kales, collards, and within that kales and collards with a tendency to perennialize as well. So it's a highly diverse mix, but very, very potent. As I said, it reflects decades of experience zeroing in on material that I found to be very resilient, productive, long harvest spread, disease resistant, so on and so forth. So if you are in a place where you can take a tray of material, that's about, I don't know, 120 plants or so, and place it into your hood, let me know. It needs to happen fast.